From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Cincinnati Bengals. Which of these 0-3 teams will visit the win column for the first time? We'll see. We're underway here in Week 4. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Scott on the return. The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
He does a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
That's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 1.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Got a man, it's Judy, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. 1st down. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Now a first carry for their fullback.
The ball carried
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Good solid gain on 1st down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
3rd down.
So much about defending the pass is being able to be right there the moment the ball gets to the receiver. And he was right in his hip pocket, helping force that incompletion.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
It's 4th down.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be from 56 yards out. And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Partner, doesn't seem like it, but that's a tough spot for a kicker. First drive of the game, and they're calling on him. He should be warmed up. He should be into the game, but sometimes it's almost like, oh, what, now already? Can't they put it in the end zone? What's going on here?
Yeah, he's probably saying, if you can't get it in the end zone, can you give me a 30, 40-yarder? A long one, and he can't connect. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
49-yard line.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything. And against that man coverage, there's no space available. An incompletion as a result.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Open man Lamb. It's complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
First down, Jacksonville.
They find some open field. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Bengals grab it. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you get defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you. No matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And his throw is incomplete. Laviska Shenault, the rookie, his intended target. 3rd down here.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Flushed out right. And that will be incomplete.
That certainly looks like nothing to show now from these first 2 possessions. And guess what? When you're on a losing streak, that can lead to a full sense of, here we go again. So on the sidelines, the offensive play callers, quarterback, they've got to get together and dial something up to start their next drive. Otherwise, it could be a long game.
Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. 1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. On the handoff, this is Mostert. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
Mostert, the ball carrier.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And Folk missed it. It's no good. He missed it wide to the left, and this will remain a scoreless game. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Bengals drive about to get going. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, give them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. It's complete to Drake. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 25 yards that time.
1st and 10.
That certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
They red zone coverage there. Thought there was some space to send their guy right to the middle on a slant, hoping he would get lost. Instead, they read it quite well and closed quickly.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On the give, this is their fullback. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
They definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
3rd and 2, now Burrow. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Intended for Scott Miller. Incomplete. Sets up 4th down.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he's able to pick up the 1st before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Give him 6 on the play, and the decision to go for it pays off. They've got a 1st and goal. We're scoreless after 1. First and goal from just inside the 5. On 1st and goal, Drake. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of around 3.
They did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
They'll come out in the pistol. 2nd and goal from the 1. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. It's the fullback. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. As his guys are first out of the scoreboard here this afternoon. Oh, he missed the PAT. No good on the extra point, so a letdown there. And this will stay a 6-point ball game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And we see James, he will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, listen, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They hand it off to Mostert. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 37-yard line.
Second and 11. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line.
They'll take over.
He may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Partner, this is almost an unwinnable spot for a defense. They have to come right out for a first and goal, trying to stop them. But let me hold on a second. Let me take that back real quick. They can win here if they force a field goal try. Still a long ways away from that happening, but that has to be what they're thinking right now.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Kenyon Drake, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
The Jaguars take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Escaping the pressure right. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. On first and 10, it's Mostert. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage. But every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often.
Oh, it was hit at the line of scrimmage and intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
The Bengals take over first and 10 at the 44-yard line.
First down, Drake. And he'll be brought down at about the 42.
Kenyon Drake.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Down at the 42-yard line.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
Line 36. Line 36. That's right, baby. They don't want it.
On second down, Burrow. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Incomplete.
Well, so much for getting separation. No chance there. Locked down tight, forcing the incompletion on that attempt.
On third down, Burrow. Going up top for Miller. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Scotty Miller, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bengals add on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers. That meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And we see James, he will now return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
Their own 25-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but well, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me on a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
To Ian Thomas.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Able to hit his target, Lamb. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35.
Complete to
Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down.
First down, Jacksonville.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Here's Mostert. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Flush to his right. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left side. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 38-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to the running game with Mostert. He was brought down by Malik Collins.
The ball carrier.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And now he'll tuck it and run. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that'll bring up 4th down as his Cincy defense stands up on 3rd. So 2 third down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down. To get the offense off the field, they're going on 4th and 5. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. For the end zone, he lost the football. It's out.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
That is good, and that'll make it 20-7.
Makes the score Bengals 20, Jaguars 7.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Burrow. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and get the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Here's James returning. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half.
7-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And a potential turning point as he'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. This is Chenault on the receiving end. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It'll be a gain of 18 on the play. And it'll move the chains. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And he tugged this one badly. It's no good. Wide left. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half, teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Second and long. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more.
28. Jaguars 7.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And we see James. He will now return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right,
throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. On second down, Mostert. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
The ball carrier.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback on the expected passing situation.
Out of the gun now on third down. And that is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Out. It's 4th down.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Jags grab it. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score.
Trying to make a comeback often appears daunting, but the only way to get there, start small, score, and worry about getting the next one after that.
And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one happened first. If the knee hit the ground, then they will keep possession.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
34-yard line. A gain of a
In the
yard.
first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from the lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
That's good.
Brandon, you know, we talk about having wrinkles in a game plan. That was a fold right there. How about that play? Being able to change things up. You think anyone else on the team's going to get the ball, and in that situation, they surprise everyone and give it to their big guy.
That's going to be caught by Judy. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a first down.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. From the gun, it's Drake. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And he'll be taken down at the 26. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
They will throw on 1st down with Burrow. Connection made with Chenault. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. 3 yards to gain there, 2nd down.
A 3-yard pickup.
Well, it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Looking for the end zone. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
At the 17-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9.
They'll drop to throw. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Has been a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts. This time on 3rd down.
It's 4th down.
And the Jaguars send out their punter, standing just outside his own goal line. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10.
At their own 44-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Joe Burrow's
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
He's tackled at the 40-yard
They're hoping
line.
that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Now Joe Burrow on 3rd and long. Got a man, it's Judy, complete. There he goes, left side. And all in for a Cincinnati score. Jerry Judy, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get him thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken about 7 yards deep. And we see James, he will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
25-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
And just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So 2nd and 10, third quarter. Thanks for tagging along with us here from the Queen City of Cincinnati. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. The all-pro corner, Tre'Davious White picks it off.
3rd down pass. Intercepted. The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
All day, just like that.
Now a handoff for Drake. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
Bengals.
We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. A give to the fullback on the dive. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. This is where, 4th quarter, you've got the lead. You give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of him, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tone.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Kenyon Drake, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And thanks to the interception, the Bengals offense cashes in with 6.
The kick is good.
Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. All right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Complete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Incomplete.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game film from the prior game when they got...
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. They're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Jaguars. Michael Gallup 83 yards. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6. And that'll cut the lead down to 28.
Makes the score Bengals 42, Jaguars 14.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
Over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Let's not forget, a year ago, this was a last-place team in their division in the National Football League. How quickly the fortunes can turn.
And somewhere, there's a former commissioner smiling down and looking because parity is something he was looking for in this league, and it plays itself out year after year. Last to first is not something that's uncommon in the NFL.
Yeah, a season ago, they didn't have one performance like this, but they put it all together in this ballgame. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
59. Watch 59.
And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Taken down right.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
No gain on the play. Second and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Sometimes I need a check. Not the sneakers, but the ones that make you watch your step. Your chain, name, how about your respect?
Second and 10.
At the 60. Here we go. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
Quick pass out to Miller. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards, a first down. A couple of first downs on the drive already. As they'll go from the 47 now on first down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground.
Kenyon
2 yards on the pickup. It'll be second down.
Tackled at the 40.
And I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Right back to Drake. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. I was pretty surprised there when they wanted up to run it on second and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch your defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
From the gun on third down is Burrow. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
5 yards.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, and that'll bring up second down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And that is incomplete.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Josh Allen. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
We got to step it up. Watch 36. 36 to Mike. Coming this way. Coming this way. Here we go.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down. They stay on the ground with Ring. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. Here's Jamie Gillen now, standing right around the midfield stripe. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge. It's almost like, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here. Maybe do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 34. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Mike.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
Today's final score, Bengals
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
As an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Cincinnati, it took a few weeks, but they finally get their first one of the season here in Week 4. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.